Hi, welcome to the crack of dawn. I'm back again 2 weeks later. I'm so excited. I had a great time last time, and it was Nate on the camera, so thank you, Nate Dion, for doing that. I don't know if it's Dion or Dion, but I think it's Dion. And actually, my cousins are D-I-O-N. Nate's D-I-O-N-N-E, so I don't know if it's pronounced any different, but mine cousins are Dion, like French. So anyway, here we are, crack of dawn. I haven't been on in a while, and I basically just had surgery, and it was crazy because it was like an emergency one. So here I am. We're hoping the back pain goes away because I had a hysterectomy, which is fantastic. Funny thing, I'm just going to say it because it's absolutely crazy, but I went to St. Francis, excellent hands, and you know what? I'd never want to be a nurse, so God bless you guys, putting the thing in the arm. I couldn't do it, looking for the thing, and I have good veins. Oh my God. Doing that, anything doctor-related, nurse-related, God bless you all. I could never, ever, ever do it. I don't care if you have a Maserati or a Lamborghini or whatever you're driving, but it's like I could never do that. So thank you so much for everybody that took care of me. But one thing that was weird is they gave me a piece of paper and they had me fill it out, and it asked me if I was male or female before my hysterectomy. So, you know, I just thought that was crazy. I was like, here is St. Francis Hospital with some of the smartest people in the state of Connecticut, brain surgeons, like my doctor, amazing, genius. And, you know, they're like, oh, it's policy. And I just thought, this is insane. You cannot, you have to be a woman born that way to have a hysterectomy. So I just thought it was insane, but I don't know how it works anymore. So let's just go with it. But anyway, here's a get well card from my sister. It's so cute. I'm going to put it here. So, you know, Rich, we've got new cameras, $250,000, $250,000 grant, because we have brilliant people like Joni and Chris and just the entire staff here at Nutmeg TV is amazing. But anyway, my sister sent me a get well card, and it kind of looks like a cross between Italy and like the Dominican Republic. But I was noticing, like, my parents have taken me many, many places, and I'm sure many people have gone, like, especially now, you go to the beach, you go to Miami, you go to Dominican Republic, you go to wherever, and there's, you know, palm trees and stuff. You get off the boat and you can buy paintings for like $5. And I just thought, why didn't I even buy one? And you see them all together, and they're really bright, and since they're $5, you really don't think anything of like, oh, I'm really going to buy a $5 painting. Is it worth anything? And they're actually all beautiful, like all of them. So if you do go on vacation, like especially if something you can roll up, sometimes they'll paint on like a piece of tarp or something, so you can roll it up and put it in your suitcase normally, or a piece of canvas, and then they roll it up. That's generally how they sell them. And you know, pick up one of those. They're very bright, very colorful. So we're going to do that one. So you can see, I'm going to sketch it out with a Sharpie. This is a very cartoon-looking picture, and I'll put it down so you can see it in a second. But anyway, it's a very cartoon picture, and I am going to draw it so you can see. And we're going to do one episode tonight because first day of work back, and I am exhausted. Okay, so I'm going to start drawing this while we're talking. So my parents picked me up. My dad picked me up at the hospital and my kids, and they're like, you're not going back home. You can't lift anything. You can't do anything. So it's kind of like I'm going to do a little mountain-scape going down here. As you can see, it's very cartoony, so it's very much like a, you know, like an illustration kind of thing. So this is like just a little bit of grass and stuff that I'll paint in later, okay? And then I'm going to start drawing these little houses that are here. Don't worry if they're off, because most of them are off anyway, and that's what makes them, you know, so cute looking. Excuse me. So as I was saying, so my parents, I'm going to put this little bell tower here. They were like, you're not going back to your house. You're going to end up ruining the entire operation, and, you know, you just can't do that. So they took me to Northampton, Mass., which is beautiful. I had a great time, but for 3 weeks. So not to mention my parents are 80, and they're married for 60-something years. I think 60, 59, 60. Great people, live right down across from Smith College. It's so fun. So there's lots to do, not that I'm allowed to, but it was a great place to be. But, you know, older people in their conditions, these kind of trees, and they don't have any problems, like seriously, like a lot of people do, but little things. And then my dad, kind of a significant thing that he doesn't really talk about, but I mean, they're in great health. They never drank, they never smoked, they never did anything bad, unless they lied, but I mean, I don't think so. So now I'm going to do these they're kind of like cypress trees, sort of what Van Gogh drew in France. if you're gonna do clouds, I'm just gonna, I hope you can see this. It's like, I think my cups are kind of going on it so I can see. Okay, there, I can see it a little better now. Okay, so I'm gonna put in these clouds, okay, like this. So had a great time with my parents. They're great. You know, it was basically Jeopardy, The Price is Right, and what was the other one? Oh, Let's Make a Deal. Yeah, all day long in Jamaica in the living room, which was about 150 degrees. And I am someone that's always freezing, and I was dying. But it was so fun, and my parents, I mean, it's just so nice. And I know that a lot of people my age don't have this kind of thing that I have, so my sister and I are so lucky because they're just so nice. And thank you, Mom and Dad. We had a great time. And thank you for helping me and taking care of me. I did nothing. Okay, so I'm going to do a palm tree here, and I'm just going to put like a little kind of islandy thing. And remember, this is kind of an illustration, so don't worry, you can use a Sharpie on this. And I'm going to paint it in pretty quick, too. And I think we're going to do one episode, but we don't have to. If you're doing a palm tree, remember, just start it like it's going off like a flower. See, like that. Okay? There's another little waves here. The boats are very, very like a kid would draw it. And I'm going to put a little line through it. And then I'm going to put a little boaty thing, maybe a little flag. Little boats, just like a kid would draw it, because these are the kind of paintings that you get when you're on the islands. Now, when I add the color, it's going to be fantastic. So it's really going to pop. Okay, I'm putting another seagull flying here. These seagulls are a little closer, so they're a little bit more detailed. You can see their legs like kind of falling down here. And again, a palm tree, just make sure it doesn't go straight up in the air because they kind of bend, okay? And then you just go like a flower, like this, like fireworks. And you can deal with the leaves later because there's no sense in filling them in when you don't have to, okay? So I'm gonna put that one there, okay? And then in the front over here, there's just like this little teeny thing, little teeny house, and it's got these little awnings and these little windows. Just make sure your windows line up. So if one window's here, the next one you want to line up, okay? And you want it to all match, okay? I don't know what these are. They look like beach chairs, so I'm going to put them down here, okay? And then on the side of this little building is kind of like just some kind of ivy growing all over it, okay? So I'm going to put that there. Okay, and then remember, never paint until you're ready because you really won't know where to go with it. You know, you won't have a line to, unless you're doing modern art and you're just kind of throwing it around, tossing it around, or if it's like paint night, a party like that, those are pretty easy. And sometimes they're not up for everybody, okay? So I'm pretty much ready to paint. Did my Sharpie, so this would be an illustration on canvas, yep. And I've got my picture here, so all I have to do is copy the colors. Now, I used a plate. Chris Bennett gave it to me in the green room. Usually I have my own. This could be one of mine that I stuck back there, but I don't know. I run out of stuff a lot. But you don't need fancy stuff. Just this. You're going to want some paper towels like this, okay? Okay? Yeah, you're going to want some paper towels, all right? Just to dab your brush on, you know, if it's too watery or something and you're a little nervous. And you can see the colors. I picked the same colors that are pretty much in the painting. There's a couple different color greens, so I used both greens. I used some light blue. I'm going to do this one a lot like I would do a watercolor. And you've heard me before, and I'm sure people have said, oh, acrylic is nothing like watercolor. But trust me, when you add enough water, it is. So again, I have my little collection of brushes here. I'll probably do the whole painting in 1 or 2 brushes because that's the way that I roll and that's the way that I like it. So I'm going to start with this one because it's kind of, this would be a Filbright. It goes down. No, a flat, sorry. Flat angled. And then it says a number, and basically the smaller the number, the smaller the brush, I believe. Okay? So I'm going to go in, and I'm going to do this cerulean blue, which is this really kind of Tiffany blue that you see on those boxes when people, you know, get the fancy ring and all that. And I'm going to put that where I see it, excuse me. So I'm going to use a lot of water, okay? I'm going to throw this around. Now, if it goes over my bird, I don't mind, okay? And I'm also going to use a lot of water, okay, because I realize that I want it to be more of a watercolor look. Anything white, I can paint back in, or I can leave it white. I can also add white to this blue, and you can see it goes much lighter, and it also will cover my Sharpie if I don't want any Sharpie showing. Generally, the ocean is the same color as the sky because the ocean's a reflection of the sky. So even though everybody thinks water's blue, it's actually clear. Yeah, maybe, I could be wrong. I mean, maybe it really is aqua in the Bahamas. But I mean, trust me, when you fill up a glass of water, I don't care if it's ocean water. I think it's pretty clear, if not dirty. But I don't know if it really would be this color, ocean water. I don't know. We got to look that up because I don't want to spread lies over here. Okay, I'm going to put some more water down here. So these are where my boats are and stuff. And I don't want the water, I don't want it everywhere because I want some white showing because there's a lot of white showing and it looks kind of like it's, you know, waves and stuff. So everybody thinks, oh, you got to paint all the water blue, but no, leave a lot of it, you know, white, okay? So that you have lots of water, okay? Put a lot of water. Remember, if you go into the palm tree and you want to go over it later, you can do that later, okay? I'm just dabbling it around and it's going to be a cute little painting. Like Rich and I were saying. Rich, thank you. Rich Conestraro's on our cameras tonight, and he is great. He is doing everything, and thanks to our smart and valuable people down here that work at Nutmeg got us a grant. I think Joni, the owner, and Chris had a lot to do with it. I don't know who writes grants, but that's a big deal. I've been asked to do it, and I said, I don't know why they'd ask me, but they did. I want a greenish, brownish kind of. I don't want it too green because this is too cheesy, and I don't want it too dark because that's too cheesy. So what I'm going to do is add a little brown in it, and it just tones it into this kind of more, I don't know, mossy kind of green. So see how that looks? I love it. And I can still go, and I can still go back. And I've got my nice little sketch, you know, which is my, I got my nice little sketch. I want this to be very beachy looking, and this is perfect to hang in a bathroom. You know, if you're staging a house, especially people that are selling homes and stuff like that, you want to put like bright, nice things in the bathroom. One of these would look gorgeous right in the bathroom, over like something where you put your like, you know, soap dishes and stuff like that. It looks nice. I want to spread this green around. I want a couple different kinds of green, so I'm going to put a little bit of darker into it. And I'm just going to go around here because these buildings over here, I'm going to make a couple little shrubs going against the buildings too, like that. Okay, they're really far away, so you're not really going to see too much, okay? And feel free to just put that in, okay? You can also put a little bit of darker green into the leaves, but I'm going to wait till they dry a little because I'm going to put some leaves on them like this, and my painting is still a little too wet to be able to put that kind of detail. So I'm going to leave it super blurry and super cool, okay? I'm going to do the vines, okay, going up the side of my house, and they're also going all the way down here, and they're going on top of my house. They're going to go into the roof, you know, okay? And then I'm going to do these cypress tree looking things in the way background. And I'm also going to add a little teeny bit of dark brown so that my trees are a little darker than the other ones, okay? And you can see how that looks. Okay, you're just going to throw those in. There's another one back here. Okay, while you have your green, you can move it around and say, okay, there's a little bit of darker over here. There's a little bit of green going here next to this palm tree. Maybe I'll get a smaller brush and I'll start putting on some more of the leaves. I don't want it too detailed because this is an illustration. Illustrations are much different than paintings. So when you have like, I've always tried to get into the New Yorker magazine. Close. I guess my jokes weren't that funny, but I always, and dry enough. I wasn't really that dry enough. But my friend Marsha Harrison always wanted me to draw one of a gravestone that said pissed off in perpetuity and had the gravestone and all of the, had the tractor going by, but the tractor like not taking care of the graveyard, which is kind of crazy. But she was a writer for the Boston Globe, so she was pretty funny. But I never, they never published it. But my friend Bob Grossman, who passed away soon in about a couple months, he was a New Yorker. You know, I've brought him up a million times, and his kids and I are very close. Bob Grossman, or Robert Grossman, if you want to look him up. Probably one of the more famous people I've known in my life, and very humble. Yeah, he never wanted anybody to know anything. So even when we were walking around the streets of New York City, we wanted to say, do you know who we're with? And no. He didn't like that. So we didn't do that. I'm going to go back to a bigger brush, and I'm going to get a little bit of a lighter kind of tan for this palm tree, okay? And I'm going to leave a little bit of it white so that I can add a different color if I want to, because I don't know if I want them all the same color, okay? And then some of the buildings are starting to show, you know, the roof lines are a reddish brown. So, you know, again, if you're making a reddish brown, take a red and take a brown. Okay, so I'm taking a alizarin crimson, which is a purpley red. Okay, means it has blue in it, alizarin crimson. Then I have a cadmium red medium, which is just straight off red. And then I've also got kind of a rosy red, which I don't know what they call that. Sometimes it's just in a funky tube that's not super, super popular, but I would say more of a rose. And I'm gonna mix it with some brown because I don't want it to be super, super red. And then I'm gonna do the roofs of these buildings. And they're sort of like a, you know, like a, I guess like a terracotta. And that's kind of what I'm going for here. So I'm gonna put these on top of my roofs here. They're on all of them, so I'm gonna make sure that each roof is this terracotta color. Okay, don't worry about mistakes. It's just triangles, and the illustrations look really fun when they're whimsical and fun like this. So don't worry about it being perfect. And once you've done a house, you've done, you know, a million houses. They're not that hard. This house in the front with the awning has the same exact color, so it must be sort of some tin kind of thing that they use for most of their roofs, because all of the roofs seem to be the same color. And they're probably made out of some sort of, I don't know, some sort of slate or something that makes the water fall off, because these are very hurricane kind of places to be. So yeah, I'm gonna paint the sides. Okay, I'm gonna show you how to do that. Just go on the side. Don't worry if it's not perfect, it doesn't have to be. Okay, starting to get a little bit fun here. I'm gonna start to do the seagulls. I'm gonna start to do the boats. Thanks for tuning in. Butch, thanks so much. Butch called and he said he watched me all Christmas Eve, and I said, oh my God, I'm such a narcissist. I watched myself all Christmas Eve too. It was that's so bad, but I did. I was like, oh my God, I'm on again. And then you kind of realize like, oh God, I'm pretty bad. I'm obnoxious. Oof, people are gonna get sick of me. I'm gonna start putting in these sailboats. Now, I don't have any yellow. I might have, but a lot of these sailboats are yellow, but I'm gonna make them different colors because I can. So this one I'm gonna have be a nice bright red, so it's right in the front here, okay? And thank you, Nutmeg TV, for letting me do one episode tonight. I'm exhausted, and I was supposed to take like 6 to 8 weeks off because I guess it's a pretty big deal, this operation of mine, but you know, I have to tell you, my parents took excellent care of me, and I think I'm ready to go. But I can't do a lot. I can't drag kids around. I can't pick them up and move them. I can't pick up any chairs. I can't put up chairs and put down chairs. So it's kind of a disaster, but you know. All right, I'm doing a couple more sailboats here. Remember, they don't all have to be bright colors. Not all sailboats are all bright colors, but you can do that if you want. I thought I put a different blue in here. I did. It's purple. I don't really want a purple sail, so I'm going to mix it with blue, and it's going to turn into like more of a like a nautical kind of navy blue, I should say. Here's like a navy blue, and I'll put this boat is going to be navy blue too. And I still have white, so now you can see my little boats. They're adorable. My seagulls are going to be white, okay, and they're not all white because the seagull is going to have gray feathers too, okay, because they're gray and they're white. Now you might want to use the white just to shoot it around a little bit. You can use it to go over your Sharpie if you don't want your Sharpie showing. I don't mind the Sharpie showing in an illustration like this because I think it's really cute. I'm going to put these other window boxes on my little thing here. And you know, I can change this because this is someone else's painting. It does not say the name of the artist on the back, but again, these things are a dime a dozen when you go on vacation and you don't realize that these people are talented. It's just, that's the only, you know, way they can make a living. And, you know, which is why sometimes you'll go to a resort and you go back and the concierge is the same guy getting your suitcases, the same owners, the same people at the restaurants. Because when you live on an island, sometimes one of the only places of employment that's a good job, that's secure and safe for them, and good, prosperity. Maybe they can get over here and visit people in our neck of the woods kind of thing. I'm going to use a ton of water now, and I'm going to add some white to it to make like a sand, okay? So I'm going to put some sand around here like this so that I have a little bit of a sand looking going. And again, I want it very watery. So I'm going to add a lot of water on into this, okay? A lot of water. Don't worry if your water's perfectly clean. It doesn't have to be. Okay, I'm going to add some more of this here, put a little on the palm tree, maybe a little back here. I can put some up here. Okay, the palm trees, you don't want them all the same color, okay, because the light hits everything differently. You can see where I put on this blush on my face. See, it literally is a line. Yeah? So when you think, people, I can't even believe we have 5 minutes left. 5 minutes, it's crazy. So like, see this line here? My daughter was teaching me, Mom, if you put this line here, right here, I don't know if guys want to do this, but some guys do, and then it kind of makes your face look thinner. I don't know. I mean, there's a million ways to skin a cat, I always say, but it's very hard to, you know, figure all this stuff out, okay? But makeup, I'm not very good at it. Lipstick, I don't really like to draw attention to my lips because I really don't have any lips. I mean, they're very, very small, which is fine. Someone used to call them ruby red lips or something, like ruby. I'm like, no. Okay, so I'm going to add a little bit more of this. Just a little sand going around. I don't really want my villas all white, so I'm going to add that sand color into them, so they're just a little sandy. I might put a little sand in the sky, why not? Okay, because I don't want everything the same. Okay, and it looks like just the cutest little like postcard, really. I mean, this is like the cutest, and I'm wasting a lot of paint. I know it because I told you, when you're painting, don't worry. Paint's very cheap, okay, not all of it. But it's worth it to have more paint on your paper than to worry about not having any of it all, okay? So we're gonna have some good episodes on. We're gonna get, we're gonna go and see a train that I worked on for about, I don't know, 3 or 4 years straight. And actually the people that own the train set have worked on it for like 10 to 12 years straight, maybe even more. And we're gonna meet them and we're gonna go out and take a look. We're not ready yet, but we will be. And I'm just gonna make a couple of these trees in the front, just a little darker, okay? And if I wanna make them lighter, you know, again, just add the white. Anytime you're making lighter, just add the white, okay? Add the white, okay? And then anybody that wants to come on the show, I'm coming on, I'm coming on Racing, what is it called? Racing Today. Me, oh, I can't even wait. I can't even wait. So Thursday, I will be on Racing. Yeah, I can't even wait. I don't know anything about cars, but I'm coming on. Okay, I'm gonna do these things, okay? We got about 2 minutes, not a ton of time. But again, I absolutely love my painting. I mean, I really do. I'm gonna add a little bit more lighter on this one, just because I kind of like my, my palm tree to be a little lighter over here. I kind of like that, okay? And you can have it coming down, it doesn't matter. And then, of course, the best part is when you sign it, because when you sign it, it just, you know, makes the whole thing great. I'm going to add a little bit more white. I'm going to put it in my clouds a little up here. And it gives it a little, you know, kind of shimmery look, okay? I don't want too much in the background. I want more up front. So I'm going to put a little bit more up front. And again, you can use a larger brush if you think you didn't spread it enough. So you can kind of move it around if you want to, too. And that's exactly what I'm doing now. We are going to do a painting of Nutmeg TV for the back room because we got this lovely grant. And they asked me to do a nice painting for them. And I thought, you know what, let's do it on the show. Yeah, let's do it on the show. We have 2 minutes left. It's so quick. All right, I'm just going to put some highlights on here because, you know, the sand, it just needs a little bit of a highlight, okay? So we're going to throw in a little bit of that. Throw in a little of this. I'm actually globbing on a little bit more than I thought because I really wanted it to be more watercolory, but I didn't. And now I'm doing what I want to do. I absolutely love it. I feel like it's fantastic. I'm going to go in with a teeny brush and I'm going to do some black. I have not used my black yet. I'm just going to put some black paint that is, not the Sharpie. I'm going to put some black. I hope it doesn't ruin it because I don't like to do that, but I'm going to put a little bit of black, not a ton, and I'm just going to make it so that it's a little bit more, you know, you can see just a little bit more of the illustration. And you don't want it to not be everywhere, so you want to kind of throw it around a little. Okay, you can go over your little villas and stuff just with a little bit of black because I did have that Sharpie there and now there's no Sharpie. I'm going to put this on the tree and then we have 1 minute left. It's great. I'm going to put a little bit more black in this one too because it was an illustration. So I'm just going to make it so you can see a little bit more. Okay, and I'm going to put a little over here as well because this is very up close and I want it to be perfect. Okay, I want it to be very cartoony just like it is. Okay. So you can see how I'm not afraid to do this, obviously, you can tell. But I love it. I'm going to put these bird legs in here because he's kind of flying. he's a little bit too loud. So what I'm going to do is erase him. Watch this. I'm going to erase my bird, and I'm going to take this thing, and I'm just going to go right over him, and he's going to come right back to where he was. See? So don't worry if that happens either, because everybody's like, oh my God, I messed it up. And don't worry, because all you do is just take some water, and you go over it. Take a paper towel, okay? Go right over the bird, and then I'm going to sign it. And I mean, it's perfect. I just love it. So I love today. I had a great time. Thank you for tuning into the crack of dawn. Next week, I'm not sure what we're doing. We're going to try to get some musicians on here from Northampton, Massachusetts. Lucci Dostal, Lucci Dostal, D-O-S-T-A-L. Her dad gets me my glasses. Her brother's been on. Her mother's been on. It's fantastic. Her mother goes to U of Heart getting her master's in songwriting. And Lucci goes to Berkeley. And Cy is just, he is winging it and doing freelance. So it's pretty cool. So they're going to be on. We're going to do the trains. I'm going to try to get a rock star on here. And thanks for tuning in. I love y'all. And thanks for tuning in to the crack of dawn.
Nick Augustino right here at the East Side Restaurant. We always have the complete full dinner menu. Knockwurst, bratwurst, sauerbraten, potato pancakes, red cabbage, rice pudding, cream pies, all the desserts that Germany had to offer. I always do something different. Yes, I do. I brought seafood to the beer garden at the East Side Restaurant. East Side Restaurant, your German destination restaurant in Connecticut. Tiki-taka, hoy, hoy, hoy!
Follow us on Instagram at nutmeg.tv.